everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. Hey guys. Hey guys. Yeah, we have some new documents tonight. We finally have the order showing back up, I believe, but then we also have the state and the defense's responses to the document stuff. I haven't read through all of it. I've skimmed through it to highlight stuff in order to make it easier for me to go through each one. My buddy sent me a text, and his first response was, they are literally objecting to the alternate perpetrator evidence coming out. That's interesting. Yes, I agree. It's very interesting. We're going to go through everything and see what their reasons are, because it is interesting. Now, for my members, I have been trying to get this stupid Nightbot thing to work. Now, at this point, I can see the chat. Finally, it wasn't showing me the chat yesterday. I'm trying to see if it's going to actually work and show me something. I think it might actually work, broskies. Okay, so as long as this, I'm going to leave this page on, and as long as it keeps showing the chat and nothing disconnects, then at the end of this, we'll drop the chat down to members only, or I can actually just do members only in the giveaway thing back here, and we can do the giveaway that we weren't able to do last night because this thing was acting like a little crackhead. But it looks like I figured it out. It looks like I figured it out. It took me like an hour. I honestly don't know how it happened because I swear I did like everything I already did like 3,000 times, but it's working. It looks like it's working. Hey, buddy. Yeah, it is interesting, isn't it? It is interesting, isn't it? There isn't like too many things it seems like they are like straight up trying to object to, like either side, but the ones that they are objecting to, it's extremely interesting to me. I also skimmed through where they have a bunch of expert witnesses' names. It's like potential law enforcement and potential expert witnesses. I don't see Cy Ray's name on here. We're going to read the whole list. Like I'm looking through it again right now, just to like reskim. Now, I don't know if it's because this is from who? Who is this from? This is the state's response. So maybe it's because they wouldn't have the defense's people on there. But you'd think that it would be like everyone. I guess it wouldn't be, though, even though they should know that. So I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's just the state's amended wish list. Well, I guess it was the wish list. People that they thought that they were going to actually have testify. So yeah, I haven't really looked at all of it. So we're going to be reading a lot of this together. Plus, there's another order from Judge Hippler regarding what he wants done to that list of all of those experts. Now, we do have a hearing on the 28th. Thank you, Whitney, for sending me that email, because I wasn't sure what was really going to end up going on when it came to what the families have now, well, the Mogen family and the Chapins now have like put into the system when it comes to these restraining orders, temporary restraining orders for stuff that they don't want out, right? So I thought that we weren't going to get anything in way of like document unsealing at all until this was resolved, because as soon as that became public, they like snatched that order from the judge from 8-4 off the site. And then these two responses that we're going to read tonight, they had they held them. Today is the 26th. They've been in the case summary since like 8/18, and they held them and wouldn't release them. Now the hearing is the 28th. And I'm pretty sure, I'm going to show you guys this, that it's going to live stream according to what that trellis law thing was that Whitney sent me earlier. So if it actually does live stream, then it's going to live stream from here. Because this is Megan Marshall's live stream. And she's the one like in control of stuff as far as I can tell. She's the one doing things. I've only been at this computer for like maybe an hour before I went live to try to figure out the Nightbot stuff because we've been outside doing stuff. So this is the information I have as of right now. There is the link right there. If you guys want to watch that yourselves, I'll live stream it. We'll go live for it. I want to see what they say. I know that it showed that there was a memorandum in support filed for Maisie and for Stacy and for Jim. I didn't see one for Hunter. That doesn't mean that there's not one. It just means that I didn't see one. There could be one. I don't know. So I don't know if that stuff's going to be like read out loud, if none of it's going to be necessary to actually go over in the court because it's already been like filed and the judge has already read it. I don't know what's going to happen, but I also don't know what they're expecting to happen. Because the TROs were filed and then we had body cam and we had photos drop and they already had the redactions that the Mogen-Laramie filing basically asked for. So now we have these responses for the unsealing of the documents. Oh, it should look like this. This is Megan Marshall's page. That's the one I just sent the link for. You're green, L. Smith. You're green. I don't really understand what's going on with this because we're now getting these documents that we're going to go over. Stuff's been released already with the redactions. I don't know what else is supposed to happen here. I'm not really quite sure if they're trying to go further because I haven't read all of their filings yet. So I don't know if they're trying to go further to make it to where like literally nothing gets released. I don't see how that's going to even be like possible because there's so many different entities and not all of them with Idaho. So I don't know how that would work if that's what they were trying to do. But stuff is happening as this is also like in process. So it's kind of like a lot. It's very conjumbled. So we're definitely, as long as it does stream like it says it will, then we'll go live and we'll watch it. I'll get all of that set up by tonight or tomorrow. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, especially since they are like arguing things. Hey, I've got something to say. Starship 10. See, I didn't even know that stuff was going on. I had no idea that stuff was going on. Hey, Cammie. Hey, MV. Hey, Jazz. See, this was me trying to figure out the stupid Nightbot thing. Look, I'll show y'all what it looks like right now. To where it shows it. Let me go back to this thing. Okay. See what this looks like? And see how I can just do like channel members. And for those that like are not members, like this is because we tried to do this yesterday for the members only live and it wasn't working. I'll eventually do like more like regular like giveaway things, but see how it can like tell me like not active or it's like a different user level or something like that. I don't know how we're going to end up like being able to cut it down to where it's going to show more because there's more members in this actually active. So I guess y'all are going to have to like comment in the chat and let it run for, let's see, what did it say? Let me go back to this. See, here's the thingy. Let's see what it's going to do. As long as it starts actually like populating, then we should be able to run this at the end of the live. Come on, I want you to work. Please work. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so as long as I leave this running, then like I can like, as long as I leave this on and nothing disconnects from it, then we'll be able to go in and actually do that. Okay, I'm so glad that that's freaking working. I went through, I don't even know how, there's like no recent information on how to fix this issue. Everything about Nightbot, like having problems, anything for giveaways, most of it's for freaking Twitch, which I don't touch. And then a lot of the videos were from like 2020. And I'm like, okay, I'm on my own. Just to try to figure this out in 2025. At least it got figured out at that point. Okay. So yeah, that link, again, if you want to watch that yourself, there it is. We'll go live and we'll watch it and see what's going on with it. But for now, let me show y'all. This is the regular page. Okay, so they didn't put it back. I thought maybe they actually put it back. They didn't put the 8-4 order back. That's interesting. Let's check this real quick. So yeah, we just have, see, these were originally put up here on the 18th. They held them this whole time. And now we have this other order from the judge. Okay, so is it the defenses that was first? Yeah, the defense is posts technically like first in the order. So that's the one that we're going to go over first. If it will hurry up and load. You better load with my highlights. I'm not even playing with you. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so let me fix this. Let me fix this. I'll say hi to a couple more people now that we are getting situated. And then we'll start reading the documents and see what they're arguing about, because they are objecting to a few things. There's some extra things that the judge now wants done. So we'll see what they do. And again, the hearing for what's going on with the TRO is on the 28th. So what day is that? That's like, I can't even see. It's so freaking dark over there on that side of the room. Thursday, I guess. So if y'all want to see these, this is the one that we're about to go over now. If you want to look at that one yourself. And then this is the one for the state. And then this is the new order. And that's in order of how we're going to look at them. Yeah, hopefully that it stays working. Hey, Gypsy Rose, how you doing? Hey, Patty. Hey, Rachel. Hey, Proud Parent. We did. We were actually, I kept them both outside with me most of the day. I even had my 7-year-old help me like push the mower. Like he was on this side and I was on this side, and they were like walking it together because he wanted to be outside and he was like bored. So I was like, okay, so come help me push the mower then. It was fun though. He liked it. Hey there, Kimberly. Hey, TK. He had fun. And then we had to cut a bunch of lumber to make the frames for the roofing tin that we got to make the garden beds. It was fun. It's just hot outside. So we took our time, went back and forth. Then it got to where it was about to start raining, so we had to cover everything up. Hey, Java, how you doing? Hey, Whiskey River. Hey, Majestic Blue. Hey, Mandy. Hey, Elise. Hey, Laura. These are the new documents that just came out finally. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Gina. Hey, Kaylee. Yes, I know. Yeah. No pictures of the knife sheath, no murder weapon, no interrogation videos. It's insane, the lack of everything important. Actually important. Hey, Vivian. Hey, Wild Beal. Hey, Sue. Hey, Meme. Yeah, we're going to see. I mean, there's a lot of stuff they're just like, yeah, no objection, no objection, no objection. But it's really like, we've waited all this time for y'all to really like argue about stuff you really shouldn't be arguing about, honestly. Oh, you're not green, Plastique. It's white. So I don't know. I know that in some channels I have to go in and like do it like every month, and some of them are automatic. I don't know why it's like that, but I do have that problem sometimes. Hey there, Crystal. Hey, Ruby. Yeah, there's no really decision on anything yet. It's more like an order for them to do something additional to the witness and the witness for the experts in the law enforcement list, I think. Not really an order on like what they're going to actually release. I mean, we're probably going to get a good idea about the ones they don't object to, but I guess the judge, they're probably going to end up having to have a hearing over the alternate perpetrator one and a few other ones. The behavior panel, I don't think I watch them. Is that like the 4 guys, the squares that they put on the screen? Hey, Loki. Hey, Ice Queen. Scott Green. There's a lot about him that's crazy. Hey, Chronically. No way. That's insane. Oh, hey, Cross Tracy. It's not always a duck. Yeah. Yeah, that's just I use Canva. And that's just like, it was in there and it literally like pretty much moves to the beat of the song that I was already using. So I was like, how is this not more perfect? Hey there, Cindy. So yeah, we just started using it. Hey, Patty. Hey, Jean. Oh yeah, be careful. Let me send the thingy. Actually, let me see if Nightbot will do it. Let's see if it works. I don't usually ever use this stupid thing. So let's see if it works. This should pop like a link. Let me go down here and see if it works. Is it going to do it? Is Nightbot going to show up in the chat? Looky there. It actually frippin' did it. Okay, and that's the one for Android. That's the one for iPhones, because for some reason it has to be two different links. So dumb. Okay, there it is. I lost my place. I lost where I was. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here so that we can go over these documents and see what they're arguing about. But I finally got this thing working, which is like the big deal because that was wild. Yeah, finally, I can take you off my hit list, Nightbot. I really, really like Canva. Even using it for free, it has a lot of like really cool stuff. The main reason really that I pay for it is because of the background removal and because it's just like the one that I got used to, but it was only like $13 a month. It ends up being worth it in the end, especially with like titles, thumbnails and stuff like that. And it has like a big storage. You can integrate a lot of different things. It has a bunch of different sizing options. I really like Canva. I know where this is coming from. In the TikTok video, there's a TikTok video that all of the girls did. It's mentioned in the book. Everyone's pretty much seen it. It's where they're like mimicking each other or portraying each other. In two instances, two different people, I don't remember exactly who it was. I did watch it yesterday because I know people were talking about this yesterday. In two different instances, two different people play Dylan, and in both like portrayals of her, she's the attitude towards Murphy is negative. That's where that's coming from, which it's something that's been out there for like a super long time. But a lot of people are noticing how like whenever Murphy came out in the body cam that nobody reacted to him. But I mean, I don't really feel like that's a big deal. Like some people really aren't animal people. Some people aren't animal people. And maybe they really weren't just like thinking about Murphy all that much because he really wasn't there. Like she'd been at her parents' house and it sounds like he was with her. And they'd all really only been living together for like a couple of months, really. Like August, September, October, then crazy November. You know what I mean? So like I get where people are coming from when it's like they didn't react to Murphy coming out. They didn't even remember he was there. I mean, these seem like pretty, full of themselves, conceited, selfish people when it comes to Dylan and Bethany. So that doesn't really shock me. A, and B, he wasn't there, pet. So then C, he hadn't been around for a while because he'd been with Kaylee. So then D, how much war, what are you really going to expect with this situation with these people? You know what I mean? But I don't know. There's never been anybody that has like downright like said it. We just know that in this video, again, two different people, when they're pretending to be Dylan, she's negative towards Murphy. Like what she has to say is basically how he like stinks and he's in the way and all these other things. So it's possible. It's possible. I don't know though, because in like the story that we're getting now, and again, I guess it's really only coming from her. I mean, I don't know right off the top of my head because we've gotten so much information over the past like few weeks. I don't know if the girl that went home with Dylan that day also said that Dylan let the dog out. I think she did. I think we went over the report. I'm like seeing it a little bit, but it's not like completely clear in my mind. It's a little bit fuzzy. So I'm not sure if I'm remembering this correctly or not. But now the more recent information is that when Dylan and that girl got home, that Dylan also let Murphy out to go to the bathroom. But then, and that was like between 1:15, 1:30. That's the time frame that we're getting so far. I don't think we've gotten anything else close yet, unless I've missed it. But then we have sometime between 2:10 and 2:30, I guess, Maddie and Bethany going outside with Murphy. Because then Bethany comes back inside and leaves Maddie outside. So I don't know the routine with Murphy, if Dylan like just lets him out, or did she actually go with him? Is he a dog really that they just kind of let out? It sounds like sometimes they do just sort of like let him out to go to the restroom, and then he comes back because they like, there's reports talking about how there'll be times whenever they were trying to get him to come back to the house and he wasn't coming straight back. So they felt like maybe somebody, maybe the person that was watching Kaylee, maybe the person involved in this was maybe trying to get his attention to keep him like away from the house, you know, like petting him, giving him treats and stuff like that, so he didn't go right back right away. That's in a couple different reports. So when it comes to that, there's nothing I've seen straight up. It's just something that people are just now recently talking about because of the body cam stuff, because we hear him barking. We can hear the panic in his bark. We know damn well that Dylan is admitting that you can hear everything going on in that house. She's admitting that she can hear Murphy sounding like he's getting farther and farther away from the house. Like, there's a lot. So it's just people just talking about that stuff. That's all it is. I haven't seen it. Yeah, something like that. So she calls him like a bad dog, tells him how he stinks, stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, that part too. But yeah, like I said, I haven't seen anything directly. It's just from that video and like the more recent things, it's just something that people are discussing. Because it's pretty obvious that like they both heard that. He's panicking. He's like straight up panicking. I did see what you're talking about, Chris. I actually took a screenshot of it, but I haven't shared it because you can't trust like the posts on Facebook, and it's pretty like sick minded, because it is basically saying that Dylan went basically like out with friends, and there's names listed the next night, and she's like mocking and making fun of the situation. Specifically, apparently things about Kaylee that nobody really had known back then. She sort of just like mentioned it, but there's nothing to substantiate that. There's nothing to prove that that's real. It's just something that's getting a lot of traction, but no one's really validating or verifying anything. You just got to be like really careful. I haven't seen anything showing the balcony that could prove that at all. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about right now. I have a screenshot of it, but I just can't I can't validate or verify that it's real, so I haven't. Hey Danny, how you doing? I saw your email earlier today, but I haven't been able to go through my emails yet, so I'll get back to you on what you sent me. It was from a year ago? See, I'm just now seeing it on Twitter. Yeah, I just can't go with that with no validation. I mean, I have my damn questions, don't get me wrong. But yeah, you got to be really careful. Yeah, I understand. That's what I mean. Like, I understand why people are like, damn. You would think. You would think, but I mean, they cleared everyone so quickly, and how, bro? Like, how? I think like they probably did it thinking that it was the right thing to do at the time, because they didn't have everything like the forensic downloads that showed everything just yet, and they were maybe under like this intense pressure because they had no answers. I mean, even Chief Fry was like, waiting till the 16th was a mistake. I should have been on camera that first day. Yeah, you should have. You got that call at noon. You should have been on that camera at 4 or 5 o'clock. You should have been doing something that evening. You should have been on the camera. Yeah, you're right. So he did have a lot of pressure when it comes to all of that. But once they had her downloaded information, once they saw that she was taking videos, taking pictures, that Bethany was on Instagram and all these different social media apps, and they were making phone calls at 7 o'clock in the morning, and they were up all freaking night, that all of that, oh, you're cleared and you're fine to go home. All of that should have been rescinded. You're now sketchy as shit. Why did you lie to me to my face? You did not go to sleep. And we already caught on to her verbiage the same way. Like, my buddy even caught it. He was like, she said, no, not tonight. That is something that you say because you didn't go to sleep. You're still in that mindset of it's Saturday night, not that it's Sunday. You didn't go to bed. Your internal clock has not flipped yet. She let all of that known. And those cops just sat there and like listened to all of this and just let it happen. Let it happen. Oh, we're about to. We're about to. I was giving it like 30 minutes and we're at that right now. We're at the 29 mark. We can't talk more about that 17-minute phone call because we haven't gotten to that document yet. We've mentioned it. We know that it's there. I've brought up my disgust with it because that means that the Goncalveses have known about this and they've just allowed the lie to come out, and they've repeated the lie over and over and over again about that situation by not telling us the truth from the beginning about that time frame. Because they had Kaylee's records, which means they knew about this phone call. And they've chosen not to participate in the truth, is what I'll say. Yeah, they're all full of shit. That's the big problem here. Okay, let me throw a banner up here real quick. Okay. Okily dokily. Is that what people said? Huh. Yeah, but the problem is that they didn't do anything about it. It's like they instead just tried to like keep covering up the fact that they allowed this kind of crap to happen. You know what I mean? Yeah, she's wild. I know. Mm-hmm. And then had the audacity to not respond to Olivia when Olivia was asking them what was going on. Both of them collectively, the same two that didn't call 911, both collectively decided not to answer back the sister of their friend that just passed away. Great humans. Some great human beings right there. Insane shit. Okay. So again, this is the defendant's response regarding those 40-ish documents that the judge asked to have them look at. Now, again, the order's not there, but we did a video. It was either a video or a live going over the list and going over what he was asking of them. It's just not there right now, but it's totally there on the videos. So this first one was the state's exhibit, which is S157 or S1-5 from 7/23 of 2025. And it's the photographs of all of the victims separately and then the one photograph of all of them. I don't know why they're feeling that the need for that to even be something that is under a ceiling whatsoever, because those are all pictures that are out there in the public. We've seen every single one of those photos on every single news media story about this case for the past almost 3 years. So I don't know why, other than the fact that they were literally shown in court, that's even necessary. So yeah, no objection, because that'd be really stupid to even like bother with that. So this is the order for modifying or amending the no contact orders. It says the defense has no objection to unsealing with redactions of anticipated witness names, addresses, and personal identifying information. So they're okay with them becoming unsealed, but they want the witnesses' names and address and all the personal information redacted, which I understand the reason why they would want that, because we didn't go to trial. So they don't want like all these witnesses' names and stuff all the way out there. But these are no contact orders, which means that it's most likely all like the relatives of the victims. And then Dylan and Bethany probably, and then some of their family. But when it comes to like the witnesses that were supposed to be called in, I understand that. But this is like not that. Like I feel like this is here as a mistake because they're talking about the witnesses and that's not really what this is. It kind of feels like a typo, just a little bit. Opposition to motion to vacate non-dissemination order, and there's no objection to unsealing. That was the argument for the gag order thing. Then we have the Exhibit S1, the state's response to defendant's 24th supplemental request for discovery. I I don't know any details of what that could possibly be, because everything, when it's come to the supplemental request for discovery from the defendant, they've been sealed. So we really have no freaking clue what the actual specifics are that they're asking for 24 different times at this point, pretty much. So I guess we're going to have to put it all together if they unseal all of it. Because like I mentioned before, most of these, it's just them wanting to unseal an exhibit for something, but it doesn't have them also requesting that they unseal all the motions that are attached to that exhibit. So we're not really going to be getting the context for a lot of this, is how the documents make it seem so far. I don't know if the unsealing of the exhibit automatically unseals all the motions attached to it, or if that is something separate, because you just never know how technical all of this actually is until you really get down to it. I have no idea. So for this, the defense has no objection to unsealing with anticipated witness names being redacted. There is continued media attention, including social media and online sleuths and public harassment reasons. Online media reflects continued attention and comments that may be offensive and harassing and impact safety and livelihood of persons named. But this is also for this. So I'm really curious as to what this could be, that they need to worry about witness information coming out for a supplemental request for discovery. Okay, so then we have a sheriff's return concerning witness KSF. So right here we have initials for a witness, KSF. That's their initials. That's like first, middle, last, probably. The defense has no objection in unsealing with redactions of anticipated witness names, address, and personal identifying information. That's probably going to be like the same verbatim thing that they pretty much use for it. Guilty plea advisory form completed by the defendant. No objection to unsealing. Second notice of filing defendant's additions / objections to the juror questionnaire. The defense objects based on the language of ICR 32G8. All renditions of the juror questionnaire were sealed and not for circulation. Portions of the questionnaire contain sensitive information relating to mental health, and other portions contain potential witness information. The defense admits that ICR 32I3A, 1, 3, and 5 apply to people having names revealed. There is continued public and media scrutiny relating to this case, and keeping names protected will prevent harm, harassment, and sensitive information from becoming media fodder. That's crazy. So I guess what I'm trying to figure out with this one is what they're actually trying to say, because this is the juror questionnaire, right? So is this really just like the juror names they don't want out, the juror information that they want out? Because there shouldn't, I don't know why there would be something like extremely specific on this, unless it's supposed to just be like scenario situations. Like if this person was found guilty of something, but then their medical history shows that this is a diagnosis that they suffer from, could you be more lenient on punishment? Like, isn't it supposed to be like scenario situations that they have to sort of give like an answer to how they would handle type thing? So I don't really know what they're like. This just seems like there's like a lot of specific stuff in there. But again, I don't feel like anything about the jurors should even be out there regardless of anything. Plus, we didn't even get to that point. Like, I know that they probably like did like the mail out thing to where like people knew that they were probably going to have to be coming in and like do something further. Maybe they were just like summoned to come in for some sort of like first level thing, but we never got there. Yeah. Like we never got there. So I don't really know like what the argument is for this, because we never got to that. Even though this pleading does not contain that information, the defense suggests that all parts of the questionnaire be treated the same. So even like the actual questions itself, but they're acting like there's like sensitive information in here, and I don't really quite get that. That's why I'm like, I feel like it's supposed to be just like scenarios, or we didn't get to the part where there would be anything additional. Okay, sheriff's return concerning witness TAD. So now we have somebody else's initials. This would have been a defense witness. The defense has no objection in unsealing with redactions of anticipated witness names, address, all personal information. Yeah, it's going to be all pretty much the same for that. Now here we have the alternate perpetrator one, and it says the defense objects based on ICR 32I3A 1, 3, and 5. They've listed these exact same ones. Let me see if I can pull it up without having to like go to the ends of the earth and back. Let me see. Refers to specific amendments and procedures related to electronic filing and services. It became effective this year. Give me the actual like website thing. Is it going to be here? No. That's not it. Hold on. I want it straight from them. Did they change like their website? Because this is not the yellow website that I had in my thing. There we go. And then what is it? I? 32I. There's D, E, F, G, H. There's H. Okay, so here's I. 3A. I. Okay, so I says redactions and sealings of court records. 3 is orders to redact or seal, consistent with the presumption in these rules of public access to information. When entering an order, redacting, or sealing records in a case file, a court must fashion the least restrictive exception from disclosure and provide the reason for the redaction or unsealing. And then A, 1, 3, and 5. Okay, so then 1A is prior to entering an order, redacting, or sealing records, the court must make one or more of the following determinations. Number 1 is the records contain highly intimate facts or statements, the publication of which would be highly objectionable to a reasonable person. What was the next one? 3 and 5, all the odd numbers. Okay. The records contain facts or statements that may compromise a person's financial security or could reasonably result in economic or financial loss or harm to a person that has interest in the records. You mean like the University of Idaho? Are we being that blatantly, ridiculously in our faces about it? Are we serious? And then number 5 is the records contain facts or statements that might endanger a person's life or safety. Yeah, I feel like that's the like basic ones that they've used before, honestly. Okay, so that's what they're saying for alternate perpetrators. I expect that they probably will have a hearing about that. Maybe, maybe not, though. Just really just all depends on what the judge decides to do and whatever happens on the 28th. Honestly. There is continued media attention, including social media and online sleuths and public harassment reasons. Online media reflects continued attention and comments that may be offensive and harassing and impact safety and livelihood of persons named. The public copy contains all pertinent information, but withholds the names and is appropriate. So if it's just the names and we have like all the context around the names, I'm pretty sure if it's somebody that we've heard of before, we'll notice it. So I'm expecting that if they do this, and even if they blank the names out, we're probably going to see something about Kopaka, because that's how Steve Goncalves has at least made it seem. So we shall see if he's finally correct about something when it comes to this, because it's just been about a veteran, and he's said a couple of things, but we haven't had anything too concrete as far as I can tell. It's a lot of assumptions based off of a lot of context. So we'll see. Okay. Then we have the sealed exhibit W to defendant's 24th supplemental request for discovery. Defense has no objection, but they do want things like witness names redacted. Is it going to be the exact same verbiage? Exact same thing every time? The state's amended notice of compliance and motion to seal state's amended witness list. Same thing, same rules. They object to lay witness names being released based on these rules. Court minutes for closed session regarding the motion concerning the alternate perpetrators. No objection for the court minutes. I would love that to come out. I want to hear what they have to say. But of course, the names will be redacted. State's motion to seal ex parte filings regarding out-of-state witnesses. No objections to unsealing. Exhibit S-1B for the state's supplemental response to request for discovery for expert testimony. No objection. No objection to expert testimony for this one either. For A, okay, this is the one that I was like, what is all of this? Because it looks like it's the exact same thing. But it can't be because they're using like parentheses and making it an actual separate situation, sort of the way that we use like modifiers for coding stuff. Because see, it's S1, then S-1A, and then S-1B. But no objection to unsealing that stuff. Then we have the sheriff's return concerning witness YR. Again, those are initials for a defense witness. The defense has no objection to unsealing. They just want redactions of anticipated witness names and their personal information. Motion for access, no objection. Defendant's reply to state's objection to defendant's offer regarding alternate perpetrators and defendant's evidence in support of this. Same thing, just redact the names. State's motion to amend witness list and supplemental expert disclosure. Same thing, redact the names. They use the same reasons. Notice of filing, sealed defendant's admitted exhibit chart, no objection. Order sealing state's response to defendant's motion regarding special investigation, no objection. Yes, give all of us that stuff. I want to know if they're even going to tell us anything about where it goes. Who's going to be the person responsible? Like, I want a name, bro. I want to know. Order sealing defendant's motion for access and objection to court's order, no objection for unsealing. Motion to seal state's response to defendant's motion regarding special investigation, no objection. State's response to defendant's motion regarding special investigation, again, no objection. Defendant's objection to release of privileged and confidential work product, no objection. Defendant's motion for access and fair investigation, no objection. Motion to seal defendant's motion for access and objection to court order, no objection. Okay, hold on. Witness list. Defendant's second amended phase 2 mitigation witness list. The defense objects based on the rules that we just read and gives the exact same reasons. Order staying order. Order staying order. No objection to unsealing. Order sealing defendant's motion and order for emergency order, no objection. Order conditionally denying admission of additional exhibits as evidence at trial, no objection. Order granting defense expert analysis of evidence. The defense objects to unredacted release and requests redactions of the expert's name and address. The request is based on the same. Okay, so again, it's just like just the people's name and their address information, which is fair enough. State's response regarding defendant's motion for independent analysis of evidence. They object to unredacted release and request redactions of the expert's name and address, but that's it. Motion for emergency order, no objection. Motion to seal defendant's motion in order for emergency order, no objection. Stipulated motion to the admission of additional exhibits as evidence at trial, no objection. Motion for independent analysis of evidence. They only want the expert's name and address redacted. Same thing for witnesses when it comes to this one, the state's objection for the alternate perpetrator information. Order granting access to sealed records, no objection to unsealing this. Exhibit S1 for the state's supplemental response to defendant's request for discovery. They have no objection to unsealing as long as the anticipated witness names and that kind of information is redacted. S1 exhibit to state's response for the 23rd supplemental request for discovery. Same thing, witness names redacted. And then this last one for the defense is their exhibit V for the 23rd supplemental request. And again, they just want personal information redacted for that reason. So really, the only thing that they're really objecting to, it seems like, so we've got a lot when it's just like no names, no names, no names. No names. Even the one for the alternate perpetrator information, it just basically says the names. Redact the names. Right. Like totally fair, right? So as long as we get the actual document and it just has their name blacked out and we can see the context to see like the reasoning why this person was brought forth, the reasoning why they're being mentioned in here, that's fine. I don't really feel like it's that big of a deal if the name itself is redacted at this stage, because it never came forward like in court. So you have to consider that as well, how far they're going to actually be able to go. But as for the information itself coming out, it looks like, again, they're not objecting to anything specifically actually coming out whatsoever. They're saying, yeah, go ahead and do it. Just redact people's names. But that's all I'm seeing, which I don't see a problem with, honestly. Like, we still have some initials here. I don't know who these people could be. And like I said, with this one right here, like, the no contact orders are going to be for the families. So we pretty much already know who that's all for. Yeah. I think it's going to be okay. I don't know if they're going to, I don't know if it's going to be that big of a deal. Let's see. Let's see what the state says now, though. Because, again, it looks like the defense just wants people's names redacted. Fair enough. So let's see what the state has to say. Let's see if that's as far as they want to go with it, or if they have other reasons to hide stuff. Because so far, I don't really have an issue. Because, again, the context itself, if it's something that we've heard of before, we're going to be able to fill in that black box. So we'll just see what it says. So again, this is the state's response to the court order for the unsealing stuff that was posted on 8/4. Let's see what they have. Did they say something like this on theirs, or did we just go straight to? I feel like we went just straight to reading that list. Hold on a second. Let me make sure they don't have nothing else that they said. Because I feel like they usually do, and I feel like we didn't. Oh, they don't. They really didn't. Okay, they just went straight to it. Okay, well, the state has something that they put in here. So we're going to read this part first. Okay. As a general matter, beginning early in the investigation, a number of individuals associated with this case were identified, then subsequently harassed, stalked, threatened by members of the public. The majority of the threatening behavior occurred via various social media platforms. There are also documented instances of identified individuals being physically followed and surveilled related to this case. There was also one instance of physical trespass of property. Ooh. Oh, wait, was that Gray Hughes over at the apartment? And one instance of property damage, i.e. vandalism. Due to harassment, stalking, and threatening behavior, previously identified individuals have had to take extraordinary action, such as filing police reports, moving residences, hiring private security guards, hiring media consultants to track online harassment, and so forth. We are also aware of an individual who was inaccurately named as a suspect by a member of the public and then subjected to online harassment. In one instance, the harassment was to such a degree it led to a defamation suit. See Schofield versus, I think it's Gillard, the TikTok psychic. She even filed to try to get some documents, and they posted her denial publicly to the Case of Interest website. It was interesting. We went over it. Based on the above, the release of full names and contact information, which would identify potential lay witnesses, could subject these individuals to similar harassment as described above. They are listing the exact same rules, except they don't have 3. The defense has 1, 3, and 5. Okay, they have it down here. Okay. Releasing potential. Why is this like double grabbing stuff? Okay. Releasing potential lay witnesses' names and or addresses would constitute an unwarranted invasion of personal privacy as provided by Idaho Code 74124. Pursuant to ICR 32I3, the state moves that any potential lay witnesses listed in any court documents should be redacted, and pursuant to ICR 32I3A7 that any personal data identifiers also be redacted. We didn't read 7. Number 7 says the record contains personal data identifiers that should have been redacted pursuant to Idaho Rule of Electronic Filing and Service 15, Idaho Rule of Civil Procedure 2.6, or Idaho Rule of Family Law Procedure 218. Okay. The state identifies each document by date, name, and number as identified in the order, and subsequently provides the state's response to continued sealing in blue, including any notice of non-objections as follows. So these should be in the exact same order as the defense's one. So this is those same photographs that we saw of all 4 victims plus the picture of everyone together. No objection. Again, I don't understand why that one was even honestly a duh. Like, we've all seen those. I don't get it. The next one is orders modifying amended no contact order, and there's 7 of them. Again, these are supposed to just be like the victim's family members, so it's kind of like a given who they're for. The state has no objection to the unsealing. The no contact orders should be redacted to protect the names of the protected persons pursuant to all of those rules. In addition, also any personal identifiers, including date of birth, addresses, it's all going to be pretty much the same exact thing. But again, we know who they are. I mean, unless there's somebody in there that they're considering included in this that doesn't meet the criteria, and it's going to be a big shock surprise, then we know who they all are. Opposition to motion to vacate non-dissemination order, no objection. The sealed Exhibit S1 to state's response to defendant's 24th supplemental request for discovery. The state has no objection to the unsealing of this item, but requests the following redactions. Item number 441, the potential witness's name identified in this item should be redacted. Date of birth should be redacted in its entirety. In addition, the AV number should be redacted in this attorney work product. Interesting. Okay. So the person's name, AV, is that audio, video? What is that? Like a file number maybe for whatever they're trying to keep track of? But they're saying that it's work product. Aren't they like unsealing all of that stuff in that other document? Or is it just a document about like giving it over for the special prosecution? I mean, the special investigation for the leak. Okay. Number 442, the potential witness identified in this item should be redacted. In addition, the Bates number for this item should be redacted as this is attorney work product. Item 443, potential witness identified for this item should be redacted, and the same thing for item number 444. Now we have the sheriff's return concerning witness KSF. And okay, we'll see. Okay, yeah, the defense filing. Yeah, that's why I said I was like, I'm not sure why this is on here, because I could have sworn that that one was for the defense, and it is. The state believes this was a defense filing, as the state does not have a record of this filing. The state leaves the unsealing of this item to the court's discretion. Guilty plea advisory form, no objection. Second notice of filing, defendant's additions, objections to the jury questionnaire, no objection. Sheriff's return concerning witness TAD. The state believes this was a defense filing, leave it to the court. Sealed order on defendant's offer of proof regarding alternate perpetrators. The state notes that a redacted order on this offer of proof was published on 6/26/25 with redacted footnotes 2 and 4. The state requests the following redactions to the unredacted order. Footnote 2 and 4, both the same thing about witnesses' names being redacted. Okay. And then we have sealed exhibit W to defendant's 24th supplemental request for discovery. State requests the following redactions to exhibit W. Item 441, is it the exact same thing? Yeah, so it's the 441 through the 444 again. And it's S1 again. No, it's a different exhibit, but they're labeling them the exact same way. Because this is exhibit W, not exhibit S1. Okay. State submitted notice of compliance and motion to seal state submitted witness list. The state does not object to the unsealing of this item. However, the state requests the court redact from ICR 16B6 witness list the names of all non-law enforcement and or non-lay expert witnesses. The following individuals were potential law enforcement or potential expert witnesses. So there's a bunch of names here. William Adams, Sean Aaron, Daniel Anderson, Jeff Anderson, Jacob Archer, Shannon, just one person's name. Or maybe it's like this. Shannon or Shannon maybe, but Shannon Arredondo, James Atchley, Jenny Ayers, Eric Bailey, Nick Balance, Wyatt Berry, Heather Barnett, Jared Barnett. We're still going to be going over their information. It's going to be happening really soon here. Dustin Blaker, Jennifer Braun, Vince Browning, Carolina Calvin, that's the 911 lady, Brooke Chamberlain, Gary Cooper, Shane Cox, Sean Crompton, Catherine Dace White, Don Daniels, Gary Dawson, Elizabeth D'Angela, Justin Dean, Chelsea Deisher, Mike Douglas, Darren Duke, we know that name, Candy Floria, Jason Gage, Eddie Garcia, Darren Gilbertson, Shane Gunderson, Nicole Heidemann, Cody Herman, Rob Hill, Carrie Hogan, Ryan Hoaxey, Diana Hoffman, Alexandria Imbrali, Anthony Emel, that's the car guy for the feds, Jessica Kelly, Jason Knight, Michael Lang, Roger Lanier, and John Lawrence. For those of you that were in here whenever we were looking over the body cam, this is the older guy that we saw talking to Nunez and that other guy at the end of the video there. His name is John Lawrence. Justin Leary, Vincent Lopez, Karen Lowe, Catherine Mabbitt, Cassie Macy Taylor, Maycheck Christopher Manor, Tara Martinez, Jason Maislin, William Maynard, Carol McKenna, Anne Marie McMohan, Jade Miller, James Mylar. See how they're a little bit different there. Different pronunciation. Michael Moscadolo, Aaron Morris, Lawrence Mallory, Lene Mueller, Timothy Mullen, Annette Murphy, Brian Knoll, Ann Nord, Riley Nowlin, Mitch Nunez, Ryan O'Neill, Brett Payne, Maureen Palton, Hugh Powell, Alex Protzko, Rebecca Quinn, Gideon Roberts, Jonathan Rosinski, Christopher Rouchard, Chris Ruchert, Lorelei Schreier, Jake Schwecke, Eric Seat, Jeremy Shepard, Venus Singh. That's the medical examiner that did the autopsies. Kate Sear, Tim Smallridge, Corbin Smith, Jeff Small. Corbin Smith, I think he's the one who actually put in the report about the footsteps first in the backyard, if I'm remembering correctly. Jeff Small, Timothy Snell, Ryan Snyder, that's the first photo guy, Luke Striner, Branson Stark, Paulette Stutton, Jeff Talbot, Jeff Tonzola, Joseph Treno, Justin Turrentine, Neil Urig, Mike Van Leuven, Danny Vargas, Tina Walthall, Eric Werner, that's the guy that showed up right after Nunez, Christian Westring, Chad Williford, Stephanie Wilt, Jared Whittemer, Sean Wright, Matthew Wasaki. I want to say Wazowski, but that's not it. Wysocki, Shane Yellen, and Haley Youngling. So that's like everybody that we would have like seen on the stand. This is everybody that we would have seen on the stand, it seems like. That are not like regular people. These are all the law enforcement and potential expert witnesses. A lot of people. Court minutes for closed session regarding motion concerning alternate perpetrators. The state has no objection to the unsealing of the court minutes regarding closed session in relation to alternate perpetrators. And this is the time that it took place. Literally what? They talked about this shit for 11 minutes from 1:25 to 1:36. That is like no time. Okay, so here's some more. The state objects to the unsealing of the court minutes from the closed session starting at 1:36:17 to 2:07:44 as it involves an ongoing investigative proceeding. What does that mean? I'm going to circle it again. What? Is it the leaks? Because what does the leaks have to do with the alternate perpetrator stuff? That might be true, but I don't see how that would be anything to do with the alternate perpetrator stuff. That would seem like completely opposite stuff. Maybe, I mean, that seems to be the consensus for the most part. But I don't see what the two would have to do with each other. What do the alternate perpetrators have to do with the leaks? I don't know. Maybe. Y'all might be right. But I don't see how they would have something to do with each other. Interesting. Okay. Then there's no objection to the unsealing of basically like the rest of it. They just want people's names redacted. So it went on from 1:25:05 to 2:36:47. So still barely over an hour. I don't know, guys. The leak seems like the most innocent answer. But that's still interesting to me because this was supposed to just be about the alternate perpetrators. I don't see what the alt perps have to do with the leaks, but y'all might be right. We'll find out maybe eventually someday soon. Okay, then we have the state's motion to seal ex parte filing for out-of-state witnesses. No objection. So yeah, so far then, it seems like this is the only thing so far that we have seen them claiming that they actually do not want unsealed, not even with anything being redacted. They don't want it out there whatsoever. And that's what, 31 minutes? What is IC 74124A? I don't think we looked that one up. Let me see if I can find it real quick. IC 74. Okay. So it's what? 74124A. All it says is interfere with enforcement proceedings. This is Idaho Title 74 for transparent and ethical government for the Public Records Act. This is 74-124 talking about exemptions from disclosure. Notwithstanding any statute or rule of court to the contrary, nothing in this chapter nor Chapter 10, Title 59, Idaho Code shall be construed to require disclosure of investigatory records compiled for law enforcement purposes by a law enforcement agency, such as exemption from disclosure applies only to the extent that the production of such records would A, interfere with enforcement proceedings. That sounds like it's the same thing, yeah, as something continuing, an investigation continuing. I'm gonna assume for now it's leaks, but I don't know. I guess we'll find out. State's motion to seal ex parte filing, no objection. S1B, S1A, and regular old S1, no objection. Sheriff's return for YR, that was a defense filing. They don't have anything to do with that. Then the defendant's reply in support of motion for access. The state, oh, okay. Is it the same thing though? Oh. This was part of the leak investigation, wasn't it? The whole thing about motion for access to give them access to all their work product and stuff like that. So this one is matching. All right, y'all are probably right then. This one is matching. It says the state objects to the unsealing of this item pursuant to those exact same rules that we've already read. Actually, no, this one's 32G1. So let's read 32G1 real quick. Court records exempt from disclosure except as provided in paragraph H of this rule. Court records specified below are exempt from disclosure. Any willful or intentional disclosure or accessing of a sealed, shielded, or exempt court record not otherwise authorized under this rule may be treated as a contempt of court. And it's do what? It's number 1. Documents and records to which access is otherwise restricted by state or federal law. It's the leaks. That's for show, the leaks. That one right there. And it's mentioned here too. So that's great. That's interesting. What would the leaks have to do with the alternate perpetrators? Because it's not like anyone's leaking an alternate perpetrator name. I might be thinking too far into that. I don't know. This just seems like it doesn't really go together. I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out one day. Then we have the defendant's reply to the state's objection. Oh, wait, hold on a second. See, okay, yeah. I didn't read this next sentence. Depending on the outcome of that proceeding, there may be fair trial rights implicated pursuant to that one rule. Yeah, I'm hoping, honestly, all the chaos that everything caused, whoever leaks stuff should be in trouble. I don't care which side. I don't care who it was. I don't care which side. If you're leaking stuff, you're breaking the rules and you've accomplished literally nothing with it. You didn't prove anything. You never showed a smoking gun. You never showed any proof of a specific person that it could have been with anything that you have in the documents, anything that you did, anything that got leaked. Yeah, it basically concreted a lot of the bullshit that we already knew was out there, but it didn't do anything either other way. Because look where we still ended up. No trial, no evidence being presented, and still nothing but a bunch of we don't knows and we couldn't figure it out. So it was kind of like just a bunch of chaos. I want to know who the frick it was. I don't care which side. I want to know. I want to know. Okay, so we have another document regarding the defendant's reply to the state's objection to the defendant's offer of alternate perpetrators. And there is no objection as long as potential witnesses' names are redacted. It looks like it's the same thing for the motion to amend witness list and supplemental expert disclosure. Notice of filing for still defendant's amended exhibit chart. No objection. Order sealing state's response to defendant's motion regarding special investigation. No objection. No objection to order sealing defendant's motion for access and objection to court's order, or for motion to seal state's response to defendant's motion for special investigation. See, for the special investigation stuff directly, they're not saying those rules or saying, hey, we can't do that for that reason. That's interesting. State's response to defendant's motion regarding special investigation. This is interesting too. Okay, so for the defense witnesses, the state was like, it ain't ours. We're going to leave that up to the court. For the state's own response regarding the defendant's motion for the special investigation, they're leaving it up to the judge to decide what to do with their own document. They're not even giving an opinion. That's weird. Okay. Defendant's objection to release of privileged and confidential work. The state objects to the unsealing of this item pursuant to those same rules because it involves an ongoing investigation proceeding and fair trial rights could be implicated. It's interesting. Interesting. Okay. Defendant's motion for access and fair investigation, exact same reasons. I'm telling you, you're probably right, but it's weird to me that we are okay with dropping stuff about the special investigation. Look, this one right here, no problem. But when it comes to what they have to say about it, they don't even want to give their own answer, and they're not quoting these exact same rules. So I don't know. I'm still freaking up in the air because that doesn't freaking match up to what it should normally be, but nothing in this case is normal. Motion to seal defendant's motion for access and objection to court order. No objection. Witness list, defendant's second amended phase 2 mitigation witness list. The state does not object to the unsealing of the defendant's list. However, the state requests the court redact any non-law enforcement potential witnesses. All witnesses identified except 22, 26, and 38. In addition, all personal data identifiers, i.e. addresses, should be redacted for the reasons outlined above. So it seems like all of the witnesses for the mitigation were laymen, except for 22, 26, and 38. It seems like those were law enforcement people, or at least like expert or law enforcement people. Order staying order. The state leaves the unsealing of this item to the court's discretion. Interesting. Okay, again, the same things. Defendant's motion for order for emergency order, they're leaving it to the court's discretion. No opinion. Order conditionally denying admission of additional exhibits as evidence. No objection. No objection to order granting defense expert analysis of evidence. No objection to the state's response regarding the defendant's motion for independent analysis of evidence. For the motion of emergency order, the state objects to the unsealing for the exact same reasons, because there is an investigation and it could be a trial. Motion to seal defendant's motion in order for emergency order. No objection. The state does not object to the stipulated motion to the admission of additional exhibits as evidence at trial to be unsealed. Motion for independent analysis of evidence. No objection. State's objection to defendant's offer of alternate perpetrators. The state only requests any potential witnesses' names be redacted. Order granting access to sealed records. The state leaves the unsealing of this item to the court's discretion. Exhibit S. when it comes to the supplemental response to defendant's request for discovery, for the reasons outlined above, the potential witnesses' names and their place of employment should be redacted. That's pretty much like they just want all the private stuff to where like people can't just go find them. I know that during the flooding, there was something that went on with like the Rainmaker program when it comes to like cloud seeding and stuff like that. And the guy that had questioned what was going on had released a bunch of information regarding Rainmaker, like from Rainmaker, like official documents for the business itself, but it had their address on it, and they got a bunch of harassment, like people showing up and a bunch of crazy stuff. So it makes sense that even though it's like a public, technically should sort of be considered a public address, because if you're an expert witness, then that probably means that you have a business address somewhere where you practice whatever you're an expert of. That's normally how it works. Even if you travel, there's usually some sort of address that you have associated with your business that's not your personal one. So I get it, but I feel like that's also like the same thing as like I don't know how to put it. I guess because they're not government employees, it doesn't fall under the same thing. Okay, we'll just continue. Exhibit S1 to state's response to defendant's 23rd supplemental request for discovery. The state requests the following redactions to state's Exhibit S1. 438, the Bates number under 12 different references should be redacted as this is attorney work product. The pathways, 2 different references, and AV number for this item should be redacted as this is attorney work product. And then number 440, the potential witnesses' names identified in this item should be redacted. The state requests the following redactions to defendant's Exhibit V. Item 440, the potential witnesses' names identified in this item should be redacted. And that's it for that one. So when it comes to the order that he posted, this was filed today at 4:02 Boise time. And the other documents were filed on the 18th, and we just got them publicly available today. This is from Judge Hippler. It says, before the court are parties' respective responses to the order regarding sealed documents dated August 4th, 2025. Both parties object to the unsealing of the names and contact information of the potential lay witnesses and expert witnesses identified in this case. They contend that some witnesses whose identities have been publicly revealed have been subjected to harassment, threats, stalking, and other concerning behaviors by the public and media. Although defendant has now pled guilty and been sentenced for the crimes, the parties note that the case remains subject to intense media scrutiny. Consequently, the parties anticipate that revealing the identities of the witnesses will constitute an unwarranted invasion of personal privacy as provided by IC 74124, the rules that we've already read, basically. To best balance these articulated concerns against the public's interest in access to information, the court requests additional information with regard to each witness whose name and identifying information the parties would like redacted. Well, I mean, they made it pretty clear that they wanted them all done like that. The witness's role in the case, whether the witness's name is already publicly known, meaning like Cyray, people know about him. The Barnharts, people already know about them. So if it's a document with their name in it, or like Becca Barlow or Lisa Larkin or any of them, if it's somebody that we've already discussed, if it's somebody that we've already seen at the hearing, if it's somebody whose name's already out there in the public documents, then I'm going to assume that it's redundantly stupid to even bother wasting the time to redact the name. So I guess this part makes sense, because if it's already out there, then you shouldn't be wasting time to do that. We already know who you are. Whether the witness's name is already known publicly, okay. Whether the witness has been subjected to threats or harassment, and if so, the nature. Following submission of this material, which is to be filed under seal, of course, because, you know, we can't see their names anyway. I guess that makes some sense. The court will review the information and either issue a written order or set the matter for a hearing. Responses should be filed within 14 days. So they're just basically sort of like trying to push it out further, I guess, is what it seems like. They're just trying to push it out further. Yeah, these came out today. This is for the unsealing of the documents, or at least what they're trying to do, unsealing of the documents. No, it wasn't a knife sheath that Don Daniels touched. There was positive blood evidence. It wasn't like a victim's blood. It probably was Bryan Kohberger's own blood. But the blood evidence that was collected from his apartment, from I think like a pillowcase, there was like a cutting that was taken out of a sheet or something like that. Something like something else. She misplaced that for 10 days. She didn't do anything with the sheet. She wasn't in Pennsylvania. She misplaced the evidence for 10 days, and instead of like calling Ann Taylor or calling the Moscow Police Department and like letting them know what was going on, she didn't even tell Ann Taylor about the situation until 10 days after they were, they had the search warrant thing happen at Kohberger's apartment, and Ann Taylor drove over there and met her in front of the apartment. She wasn't told ahead of time, and that's Don Daniels' own like supplemental report that says that she didn't tell anybody, that she didn't say a word until Ann Taylor showed up, and then she handed it to her. And I'm like, you couldn't have made a phone call? You couldn't have taken that little 10-minute drive? What? Like, why is that acceptable to just not even say a word for 10 whole days about a situation that you're very well aware of? I don't really quite understand that. That's wild as hell to me. Yeah, it's pretty dumb. It's pretty dumb. Yeah, no, I've done videos about it. And then now she's like a chief. She got a promotion. She got a promotion. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want more footage. I definitely want more footage. I want from like 10 p.m. to probably like all the way to 12. Probably like all the way to noon. I think so. I think that would probably work for me. So that we can see like the cars coming and going, because we know that they were awake the whole time. We know that. So I would like to see like the rest of the cars going in and out of the neighborhood. See what was going on with that. Yeah, you mean pain? Yeah, I need to actually do a video like with the information that was given to me like on the screen. Like I've shown it, I've taken like screenshots of it, but I never did like a video of it just by itself to let like people know like, hey, this is like whenever this happened. So I don't know the situation now. I don't know if he's actually I don't know if he's actually working for the university. I don't know if he ended up getting his position back in MPD. I don't know what happened now. All I know is that as of April, he was no longer working for the police department. Then at the beginning of May, there was a job opening thing that popped up on the website. That was like the first clue I like kind of put on the community tab thing, was like a screenshot of like, oh, look at this. There's an open position at Moscow Police Department. Who's no longer there? Wink, wink. That was like the first clue I put out there about that situation. But with everything that happened, I don't know. I don't know if he went back to MPD or what, because there's a document that came out with the Pullman stuff that was dated July, like the end of July, so after the plea. And it has Chris Ingalls saying something about how Brett Payne was like the lead for the case, and that was the person that they needed to get a hold of for something. And I'm like, not as of where you're saying that, like not since like 3 months before, July to April, not since like 3 months before. No, he's not. So did something change? Who knows anymore? Yeah, well, he retired because he thought that whatever happened here was going to get him a sheriff's position, but he lost that. Now, a lot of the locals say that it had really nothing to do with him, at least the locals that have like made comments, because I've mentioned this several times. They'll say, honestly, the sheriff that was already sheriff that he was running against, people really like him. So it really didn't have anything to do with Chief Fry. But to me, I still think that it says something, because if people really felt like Chief Fry and what happened in Moscow was handled correctly by Moscow Police Department with him in charge, I feel like he would have at least had like some sort of close call, and it really wasn't that close at all. And so now he's like not really retiring. He works in Washington. He got a job in some Washington place. So I think he was just like maybe counting on the sheriff department thing working out because of stupid reasons, people lying to him. Nothing that Moscow did got us anywhere, at least not where we are. Everything that got us to where we are today came from the feds. Came straight from the feds. Has anybody gone over to Outcast's channel and to see what we talked about yesterday in the members only live about how Enon Harsh had gone over there? I still haven't watched it. I got up this morning whenever stuff got delivered for the garden stuff and really just forgot about it until now. Yeah, that too. Given a bunch of stupid information. Because it's probably not true. It looks like there's a lot of people saying that he read it wrong and it didn't have anything to do with Ethan's brother Hunter. I haven't gotten to that part yet, so I kind of doubt that. Honestly. Yeah. I'm just curious as to if he's really lying. I really feel like he's full of shit because we haven't come up with any documents. And even though like it doesn't really matter either way, I'd still like to like know for sure if he was full of shit or not. Because I feel like we haven't seen a subpoena for him. I have not physically seen one. Yesterday, whenever I mentioned this, no one else had remembered seeing one either. I'm not seeing anything in the MPD documents or the ISP documents that make it sound as if this report, this interview, this tip, this conversation is coming from Enon Harsh. So I find it interesting because he inserted himself, put himself all over the news, said a lot of stuff, and then apparently over on Outcast channel, the second that the black SUV got brought up, he like had to hurry up and leave. So I find it interesting. And if he's full of shit, then I want to at least acknowledge the fact that he was probably a liar, because that's how I'm feeling at this point. I feel like he's full of shit. I don't think he actually said anything to the police. The only way I think that he maybe said anything to police is if they saw him constantly talking on the news and they approached him. But everything that we read, we went over 315 documents for Moscow, and we're about, well, not even really, about maybe like a third, 2/5, I don't know, of the way through ISPs. And I haven't seen anything about anybody besides a neighbor that lives in a whole completely different direction than him, claiming to have been up and like outside with his dog at that time, mentioning something about an SUV, but nothing about Enon Harsh at all. I don't really know what happened with him. He was apparently on the Outcast channel for like 5 minutes and then got off, but it was the first that we'd seen him in a long time because he came out putting his face on like every channel that he possibly could and went to a mainstream and like all kinds of different stuff, and then nothing. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to go around saying all that stuff until I see the document myself, because it sounds like Pav read it wrong. Jay Embry read it wrong is what it sounds like from the other comments in here. And I haven't gotten to anything that says anything remotely like that, and I doubt that that's the truth about Xana. I have no idea. So we'll see when we get there. I have a lot of stuff to do in the morning, but everything should slow down at a decent pace. I'm going to try to go live twice tomorrow to make up for not being able to do it today, but it'll have to be after 1, because that's like basically whenever everything work related really does end, is like 1 o'clock. So yeah, we're talking about Enon Harsh. because he's the one who honestly like fits Dylan's description better. There's that. Okay. It looks like the thingy's working so far. So, members, I don't have to do anything with this chat. I can leave this alone. It knows if you're a member or not. If you are active and if you are a member, just start typing in the chat so that it'll pop up, and then I will have it pick a winner, and it should pop the comment up in the chat who the winner is. So as long as people are commenting in here, it should start like populating more people. Okay, here it shows up. I'll show y'all the page too, so y'all can see what it looks like. Oh crap, well, hold on a second. Hold on. The boys are arguing. The teenagers being mean. Don't tell him to stop acting like that. I'm going to turn his internet off. So we'll see what it does. Okay. Y'all keep on talking. I'm going to put this on the screen so you guys can see what this thing looks like. Okay. So you see how it like will show you like who's a member and who isn't. Like it has the green. And like it can see if somebody else is in the chat, but if they're not a member, it crosses it out because they're not green. See what it does? Okay. I'll let this run for a second. He's in there singing now. Okay, I'll let this run for a second. No. I'm just letting it go back and forth so that it doesn't do anything crazy. I know he's not in there like really singing that loud. Yes, he is. Okay. I'm gonna like y'all just like even if it's just like something like don't do it to where it's gonna think that you're a scam bot or whatever, but keep typing every bit that you can just to make sure that it gets everybody that's a member in here, because this is from us messing up stuff yesterday. Me messing up stuff yesterday. I couldn't get this damn thing to work. Happiness is a warm puppy. Okay. Okay, you have to be active for at least a minute for it to grab you. I'm going to let the clock turn to 48 because I started it at 46 just to make sure that it's grabbing everyone who has been in here for at least a minute. That's the lowest time the frame. It'll let me do it. As soon as this hits 48 on my end, I'm going to click the button. You see before whenever we tried to do it, like this was grayed out and I couldn't click it. Okay, a few more seconds. Y'all keep typing. A few more seconds. I want to do it right at 48 so that it's had enough time to get everybody's stuff. Let's see. This is the longest minute ever. I'm watching the clock. It's still not been a whole minute. Okay, 48. Ready? Here we go. Here we go. Is it going to do it? What's it going to show? Did it do it? It has T Kerr up at the top, but it's like, what is it doing? Did it do a thing in the message? See, this thing is on crack, bro. Where's T Kerr? I think that's who this is right here. I don't see the name. Where's T Kerr? Type yourself so I can see who you is. It says waiting for the winner to send a message, and then it's not doing it. I don't see it. No, it's not frozen. Like, it's still like doing this. How did it pop up a name that wasn't in here? See, this thing is like dumb. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Let's re-roll it. Okay, Miss Lindy J. Miss Lindy J. It's up here. You see it? See right here? This thing is on crack. I saw Miss Lindy J in here. Where's she at? I seen her. Is it not sending the actual message? Okay. Where there it is. Okay, so this is the person that was in the chat. Okay. Here we go. Good. Okay. Good. Okay, so if T Kerr is in here and can show me that they are T Kerr, then I'll send you both something, because I don't know what the frick happened. But it was saying that it couldn't find anything from the person, and it, like, we couldn't find the name at all. So if T Kerr is in here, letteth me know. Let me pop this over here so I can get the channel information. Yeah, because it's like messed up. So I don't have an issue sending it to both. I just need to know, like, where she is, or he or she is, because I don't know who T Kerr is. I don't know why this thing is so dumb. I don't know why. I don't know. Yeah, if T Kerr pops themselves up somewhere, I'll send it to both of you. I'm gonna need you, Lindy J, to send me your back end to show me that you are you. So it'll show like your name and your icon and how long that you've been on YouTube, and it needs to match what I can see. I need to be able to see like the date that you joined. It needs to match the information that pops up whenever I click on your icon. And then you can tell me whether you want the black t-shirt, the coffee cup, or the hat, and where you want me to send it. And then I will get it ordered this week and send you the tracking number. You just need to send me an email. Let me get back to this, because I have your stuff now. I just went in to like check that I have your channel info. Here is where? There is T Kurt. Where? Where? I'm going up. I'm going up. Well, the real T Kurt. Where? There you is. Yes. Okay, you were the first winner and it couldn't find you. So this will go for both of you. Let me go find this over here. I have no problem sending both of y'all something, because this thing got all stupid and I don't know what in the world was going on. Okay. Okay, let me find it back on the live thing, because I have to click on your channel so I can get your information. And then I'll put my... Oh my God, where is it? Where is it? Okay, like I see you in here. It is 9:51. Let me put the timestamps on this thing. Oh my God, where is it on this side? Oh, found it. Found you. Okay. So what I need from both of you, I'll repeat it again. What I need from both of you guys is for you to take like a screenshot of what your channel back end information looks like what it'll have, like your YouTube handle. It'll say when you joined, it'll show like how many subscribers that you have, like what it looks on the back end. Send it to me. Send it to me here at this email. Send it to this email right here, so that I can verify that you are you. And then here, I'll put a link to the Etsy shop in the chat so that in case you haven't seen the stuff, you can go in and check what you want. It's the black t-shirt that has the channel logo on it, the black hat that I normally wear, or the coffee cup. So let me, if I can find it, because I'm so disorganized. Okay, here's the Etsy shop itself. That way you can go in and see which one that you want. Just go ahead and let me know. Just go ahead and let me know which one you want in the email. And then whenever I get it ordered with my print on demand provider and it's good to go, it'll I'll email you back the tracking number. So I just need that, and if it's a shirt, whichever size that you want, and where you want me to send it. That's all we need to do with that. So yeah, well, I'm glad it worked. I don't have a single issue sending out both. That thing was just dumb. I'm glad that it at least like figured its stuff out a little bit. So I guess I have to have it running before the live actually starts, so that it'll recognize that it's on there. Because if I try to activate it after the live is already going, it doesn't recognize it really as being existent. Is how I'm guessing this is working. So I think I figured that out. So when I want to do these, I'll just make sure that I have Nightbot active and going beforehand. So tomorrow, I have something really early in the morning I have to do. I really do want to go live after 1 o'clock. So I probably will at some point earlier on, because I really want to get into the documents. There's a lot of the ISP documents. Oh, I do. Oh, wait, not zip up. I have pullover hoodies. I'll check the design and see. I'll see if I can switch it up, because I know that some people do prefer like zip over hoodie, like zip over like the pullover for like hair and stuff. But I'll figure that out. I'll get one of those out there before winter time. Now we know. Yeah, now we know that it has to be already like active, dashboard on. And it's also kind of dumb. You have to go in and constantly check. Not like check, but the same way that we have to go in and like unsubscribe and resubscribe for your notifications and stuff to work, you have to like log out, leave channel, rejoin channel, and all this other crap to make it work right. Dumb. Supplement. Oh God. Now I want to know what it is. Like, how far down do I have to go? Well, let me see what it's about before I get y'all off of here. You said what number? Did you say 157? Where'd it go? Where is it? 157. That's going to be a way to frick down here. Let's see. Oh my God, there's so many more. Oh boy. Okay. We'll read this so I can get my own interpretation of it. And then we'll close it out for the night, and we'll reread it whenever we go through them. But I'm guessing from this context, this is the one that everyone's tripping about. Okay. Let's see what this says. Yeah, because we're like at, I think, 96 or 106. We're in one of those. So we aren't here yet. Let me get this out the way. All right, let's see. Joseph Lake. This interview was conducted when? December 5th. Okay. Detective Joe Lake met with blank for information about his friendship with the victims of the quadruple murder at 1122 King Road, Moscow, Latah County, Idaho, November 13th, 2022. Blank agreed to complete the victim background questionnaire and to be interviewed. Blank was the blank to murder victim Ethan Chapin and had a prior relationship with Xana Kernodle, who was in a relationship with Chapin. Blank also had a previous relationship with surviving roommate, blah, 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 blah. So this is probably Bethany Funk since it's messed up. Or maybe not. Or maybe it's Mortensen. Because this is long, and then this is like this person's first name or whatever. This is person's name. Blank stated Kernodle had a lot of admirers, but she and Chapin were perfect for each other. The night before the murders, Chapin told Blank it could be difficult to be in a relationship with Kernodle because she draws so much attention. Blank stated if Chapin was confronted by anyone, he'd remain calm, and he'd prefer not to have a confrontation. Blank doesn't know why, how, or who murdered Chapin, Kernodle, Kaylee Goncalves, or Maddie Mogen. This doesn't make me think whatsoever that this is Hunter. Is this what they were trying to say? No, I do not either. This is about his friendship with the victims. I don't think that they would put it like that if it was also Hunter. We know that actually, I think in a previous document, we read something about a guy that might have known one of the surviving roommates that Xana also knew. I guess it could be an ex. But I wonder if this is the one that got kicked out of the university for being like the guy to go to for stuff. Remember that guy? Yeah, but I don't think at all that I don't think this is Hunter whatsoever. I don't think this is Hunter whatsoever. You wouldn't use friendship with the victims if this is also his triplet brother. And there's no way in shit, I'm sorry. There's just no way that would be the situation here. I don't get that vibe whatsoever. I don't get that vibe whatsoever. Yeah, because he lived he was roommates with somebody else that there was a report for, and the guy mentioned how he knew Xana basically because she used to go over to his house all the time to visit his roommate, who was the one that was known for certain things, being the contact for certain things, and then he got kicked out of the University of Idaho. So you can just only assume based on that context that he got kicked out for probably dealing drugs. But yeah, there's nothing in this that makes me believe that this is Hunter. Like, I get the verbiage right here, but I don't know. I just don't feel like that's what this is. Blank is this a boy or a girl talking? It is a guy. His friendship with Blank. Blank was the blank to murder victim Ethan Chapin. Okay, so is this the guy though? Is this guy the guy that was kicked out? Because a lot of time the redacted name is the name of the person that they're interviewing. Blank was the blank to murder victim Ethan Chapin. This could be a frat related thing. I think that this name right here is this person. And I think that this is the one that was probably kicked out. Or I don't know, maybe not. This is a 20-year-old guy. But yeah, I don't know. I don't get the feeling that this is I don't get the feeling that this is, it's really not. I don't get the feeling that that's what this is at all. Yeah. I don't know. There's another document where both a surviving roommate and Xana are mentioned about a certain person, but of course everything's redacted and it didn't have anything to do with the Chapins. Yeah, I don't get that context. Is that, yeah, that name sounds familiar. Mason sounds familiar. Yeah, I don't believe that's the case. That would be like something extremely insane that would have been kept secret the whole time, that there was ties like that. I don't even think that we've heard anything about Hunter and Bethany or or Dylan even like really knowing each other like that, like that. That'd be a wild ass secret. No, you're putting the word brother in that. Stop doing that. This could be something. There's a lot of different labels people can have. I don't see how this could possibly be Hunter. Yeah, I don't think so. I wonder what this possibly could be. I just don't think this is Hunter. I think it's a good guess, but I don't feel like it's the case. If whoever the people that are guessing that, it's a guess. I just don't feel like that's what this is. That would be something really insane to keep quiet. Well, that's because they were together that night. That's, yeah. So many freaking redactions. Yeah, or is there like a label? Is there like some sort of like Greek label that we don't know about? Um, he could have been Ethan's roommate whenever he was actually living at the frat house, because he was supposed to be moving back in like a month. So this could be somebody that lived in there, or maybe it's a Sigma Chi person. I just don't feel like this is Hunter. It could say roommate. It could say roommate. Yeah, I just don't think so. But that's just my opinion. I don't think that's what it says. But we'll read it all over again whenever we get to that section. Yeah, there's a lot of just stipulations. Yeah, it could say neighbor. Could say neighbor. See, no, that's the one that comes in with that bubble rumble that matches the one that leaves Linda Lane at 4:23, that I feel is something's wrong. That one's too long in my opinion to be a Ford Explorer. It's really long. Like, it really seems like it's a truck that has like a cab cover thing on it. Because it seems long. I don't feel like it's the Explorer. It would be good to know when it got there though, because like I know that like the Hunga Dunga stuff happened, but I just don't really quite get because, like, okay, if Ethan drove the Jeep to Hunga Dunga, it's parked back at King Road. I guess it's possible they could have taken both of them. There's nothing in anything that we've gone over that says that Maisie went there to meet up with them. But that doesn't mean that they didn't also drive that vehicle, but they both like ended up over at the Sigma Chi party. So why would they both be parked at King Road? There's a lot about that night that we've not been told. That would probably make all of that make complete sense. But for right now, it's all just assumptions. It's all just assumptions. I thought it was 426. Because it's like between 426 and 427, and it matches up with the timing that Dylan would have been downstairs, and it matched with what she said about there being like a truck outside that didn't have headlights on, but looked like it just had brake lights on. Like I went into the documents to like find where she had said it, the timing of their text messages, and then the timestamp on 11/12. And that's why I said yesterday that I feel like something's really like more wrong with Linda Lane than maybe I originally thought, because that same truck is leaving at 4:23, and I could be wrong in it being the exact same truck. But the timing is crazy. The timing is crazy. That's why I want to go back over it. Ooh, maybe. But that would mean that she would have been having to have been woken up right at 4. Yeah. But say they were going right across the street. Oh, across the, the field. On the public interest website. I'll put the link in the chat. I have it in the description box of every video about the case. But when it comes to the public interest website, these are all of the official documents from Idaho, but there's other stuff. Yeah, I don't like the audio. Well, I don't do interviews. I don't do interviews because that means that you have to connect yourself through the internet to a stranger, and I don't trust people. They have access to your information that way. I don't do interviews. Yeah, that would probably be the memorandum in support of Maisie Chapin that was filed for the hearing that's going to happen on the 28th regarding the families not wanting stuff out. Oh, yeah, no, we found her. We found her. But that's supposed to stream. It says on the thing that it's supposed to stream. So we'll end up being live on the 28th to look for that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here because I got to get up like really hella early. Way more early than I ever really want to, but I don't have a choice. Winners, email me. We'll get that stuff sent out this week. I'll try to go twice tomorrow. I'm fingers crossed everything works out right. Yeah, it is. Oh, I know. Especially the timing. Like, what? Who sets that time for that? Who sets the time for that? Good night, Miller. Who sets the time? The temporary restraining order that got filed from the Laramie, which is Maddie Mogen's family, and then the Chapins also chimed in on it for stuff basically to be redacted and not come out in way of crime scene photos and body cam and stuff like that and things that they don't want out there. That's a hearing that's happening on the 28th. Yeah, Whitney sent me that through the trellis thingy, and it shows that it's supposed to be streaming. Hey, Ariels. Hey, baby. Just getting off of here. Love you. Okay, guys. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get this off. Tell Ariel good night. Good night. I'll be on tomorrow. Love you too. I'll be on tomorrow. You guys have a great night. Let me go ahead and actually, before I forget. Thank you for the $1.99. You fixed it? Okay, good. I'm glad you did. Thank you for the $1.99. Where's the DNA under Xana's nails? She fought that too. Also, the foot thing. The fact that they covered up one of her feet to preserve it, I don't know. I don't know why. It's just very strange. It's just like just her and just the one foot. Yeah, no, I want to see all of it because I want to see all the reports from all of the DNA analysis from them doing all of those scrapings because there had to be a lot there. And I would like to see if like how many of them had the same people's like DNA on them. Because those would be the ones that you definitely want to concentrate more on. Thanks for being here for 10 months, Shenanigans. That's awesome. Thanks for being here for so long. Very possible. And maybe it's noticeable. Oh, you know what? Maybe it looks like she stepped in a puddle of red stuff. That could be. Good point. All right, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and get off of this. I'm going to roll this. Y'all have a great night. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll have the link up for the live a good hour or so before I end up going live. So just keep your eyes out for that. Thanks for joining. Let me roll this. Please do not forget to leave a like on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. All right, you guys. See y'all.